Hi, I'm Luann Hammond, DrivingTheNation.com. I'm here with Paul Taylor, Chief Economist of NADA. Hi, Paul.
Good to be with you.
Thanks. We're at the Automobile Forum here in New York City. We've heard some of the economists this morning talking about the auto industry, and some of them have said that there could be over 14 million SAAR this year. What do you think?
Well, one of the reasons it's an interesting time for NADA and IHS to have this event is it's a critical time to start worrying about the supply side of this market. We've finally got the consumer back in the mood to buy. We've finally got credit most of the way back. And now we're looking at the question of, can we produce enough cars for this consumer? The average age of the car is 10.2 years, and we find that the individual buyers are holding them for longer periods of time as well. There's a lot of pent-up demand there, but the American consumer still requires selection. So we're hopeful that we can iron out the difficulties that have been discussed this morning about supply constraints and keep this market moving firmly forward.
So we've had a couple of things in the last couple of years. We had the dealer consolidation and the supply consolidation, which meant that we didn't have as many suppliers because some of them actually did go bankrupt. Then we have the tragedy in Japan, and some of the suppliers there are not up and running. I've talked to some of the big suppliers, and they have said even before Japan, they couldn't have made 14 million. So how are we going to make that now after Japan?
We're not going to need to this year, where we expect sales somewhere in the 12 million, 12.9 million.
So you think 12.9?
Is our current estimate. And if we know all the bad news we know on the production side, on the limit of supply, that's easy to do. Mm-hmm. And so we're guardedly optimistic that everybody works out these problems, and there's a lot of creative force at work to do that. So
an interesting talk that we had this morning, because you said that leasing is coming back, and it's very important right now in the supply chain.
And one of the things in the supply chain that's good news and bad news is that there's a very tight supply of used cars as well. You have that after a recession because the trade-ins didn't get into the marketplace. That's where you get that high average age, and an average age where a lot of cars aren't attractive to retail customers that come in and trade. But what we have in that are current vehicles are worth a lot more for the customer on the trade on a new vehicle. And so that's going to help them make the economics work for their particular new car or truck purchase.
And the leasing is important so because of the Japan tragedy. If we don't have as many cars, new cars, we can still bring in all the old leased cars and sell them again?
Used cars are simply important because when you come back from a recession, you have some buyers that need more used cars at a time when you have fewer. And we think a lot of the manufacturers are drawing short-term leases so that they can have those cars back as suitable candidates for the pre-owned programs. And that's the stepping stone for a lot of manufacturers for a new car customer.
Subprime. I was interested to realize that subprime, the brand loyalty, the customer is more loyal to the brand than any other customer in the market.
Customers tend to remember the people who would give them credit when times were tough, and that's true for all sources of credit.
Paul Taylor, thank you very much.
Enjoyed it.